This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
I see the darkness all around, trying to find my way out, trying to find my way out. My heart it wanders through the night, searching for the starlight, searching for the starlight. Will I find my way back home? Will I find my way back home? I'm moving through the shadows. I'm moving through the shadows.
LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know that is the truth right there. It does not matter who the host is. What matters is who the listeners are. Yes, that's what the listener. And, you know, the other important about the listeners piece is that there has to be something to listen to. Yes, I was told yesterday that some of the people did not get to hear some of the stuff if they were on the video side. So, oops, sorry about that. But I will tell you, if we have problems on the radio side, they get corrected right away. On the video, like I said, secondary. So I apologize about that. Anyway, today's Thursday, April the 27th of 2023, day 117th of the year. Yeah, that's 117 day and only 248 days left to go. Anyway, so how are you? How are things in your neck of the woods? Are you excited? Are you getting excited? Are you being excited? I mean, I don't know. There should be some level of excitement about something. At least it feels that way. Like it should be to those levels. What do you think? I mean, I don't know what you did in the last 23, 24 hours. I always ask those questions because I think that they're important for us to discuss. So that's why they're always brought up. Anyways, we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. Yes, in Orlando, Florida. And we are coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM and hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place.
Radio. USA, Canada, UK.
Oh, yes. You know, we have to go across every pond that's possible to get everything moving and grooving because that's the way we roll around here. That is for sure. So a lot of stuff happening in the overnight. So we're going to have to talk a little bit about what was trending. So opposed to making you wait, why don't we do that right now and talk about the trends of the ends of the ends?
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so in the trends of the things that were going on, Elizabeth Holmes' prison time gets delayed, and New Orleans Senior has set a new college scholarship record. We'll talk about that as we get into the hit list. Donald Trump has preemptively bowed out of the GOP primary debate, and Bernie Sanders backs Biden. We'll talk about that as we get into the swamp. Giselle Bündchen is giving back, and James Rowland says that therapy is the key to a lasting marriage. And Steven Spielberg regrets editing one of the iconic films the Super Mario Brothers movie has surpassed, and Super Mario Brothers movies has surpassed $900 million. So we'll talk about all of that stuff. Good stuff right there. Anyways, if you want to interact with the show, it's a kind of simple process of doing so. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. That will get everything moving and grooving for you in that particular regards, because that's the easiest way to do the thing. That's the easiest way to do the thing around here, so don't worry about that. And what else? You can listen to us on Safety FM, the app, or the .com. You can listen to us on Radio Big, the app, or the .fm. And we do own Safety.fm, by the way. .fm, not safetyfm.com. You can just go to safety.fm. That will get you there. And what else? So, and then call in radio. That will get you to interact with everything that we got going on. Easiest way to do that. And then you get the visual side if you want to do that. But if you want to do the interaction side, call in radio is just the easiest way to do that. Well, anyways, with that being said, I have some professional broadcasters that are waiting in the wing that want to talk and chat and yap and talk about everything that's going on. So let's go ahead and bring them in and let them tell you about what's going on with the news.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Mark Mayfield. The House has approved Speaker McCarthy's bill to raise the nation's debt ceiling. More from Brian Shook.
The bill includes pairing a package of spending cuts with a $1.5 trillion increase. It also limits growth of federal spending to 1% annually and claws back billions of dollars of unspent COVID relief funds. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the bill, however, will be dead on arrival in the Senate, and President Biden has threatened to veto the bill. I'm Brian Shook.
A new report says Florida Governor Ron DeSantis could announce his official campaign for president by mid-May. GOP sources told NBC News that some of his supporters are urging DeSantis to jump into the race as early as May the 11th. Polls have shown that the governor is the strongest Republican challenger to former President Trump. The United Nations says Haitians are living through an alarming surge in violence. Trey Thomas has the story.
Addressing the Security Council, the UN's Haiti representative, Maria Isabel Salvador, said the number of violent incidents has more than doubled since last year.
Urgent international support to the police to address the rapidly deteriorating security situation cannot be overemphasized.
Haiti has been plagued by political instability following the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. I'm Trey Thomas.
Fuji's rapper Pras has been found guilty of 10 felony counts related to an international conspiracy. The musician was charged with acting as an unregistered foreign agent of China, conspiracy to make illegal campaign contributions, and witness tampering. He faces up to 20 years in prison. And a storm system threatening more than 40 million people in the South is expected to push east on Thursday. Parts of Gulf Coast states like Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi could see flash flooding. By Friday, heavy rain could impact much of the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Sudan's army says it would extend a current ceasefire, but there's been no response yet from the paramilitary RSF. A Republican bill aimed at capping government spending has made it through the US House of Representatives. Taiwan is planning military drills to counter a potential blockade of the island by China, and tens of thousands of teachers are on strike in England on Thursday in an ongoing row with the government over pay.
More sarcasm than Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
New York Mayor Eric Adams says he sees no problem with President Biden's age.
We need the wisdom, we need the skill set, we need the experience. You know, this president has navigated us out of these difficult times.
It comes after the president announced he would be running for re-election in 2024. Meantime, Biden says he feels good and excited about the prospects of a second term, adding that Americans will judge his performance for themselves. Tucker Carlson is providing his first comments following his firing from Fox News.
Where can you still find Americans saying true things? There aren't many places left, but there are some, and that's enough. As long as you can hear the words, there is hope. See you soon.
In a video posted on his Twitter account Wednesday, Carlson didn't go into detail about his firing or future plans, instead delivering vague statements about stepping outside the noise and how stupid debates on TV are. He went on to say that there aren't many places left where Americans are saying true things. Fox News announced Monday it was parting ways with Carlson and thanked him for his contributions. He was Fox's top-rated primetime host with an audience of over 3 million viewers per night. The news came after the network agreed to pay over $787 million to settle a defamation lawsuit from Dominion Voting Systems over the network's coverage of Trump's claims of voter fraud. The FBI says the U.S. saw more casualties from active shooter incidents last year than it did in the previous 4 years. New data released by the agency on Wednesday counted 313 casualties in 50 active shooter incidents, including 100 deaths. The FBI said while the number of active shooter incidents in 2022 was down from 2021, data shows an upward trend. And Montana's first openly trans lawmaker will be banned from the state's House floor for the rest of the legislative session. House Republicans voted on Wednesday to censure Democratic Representative Zoe Zephyr. She drew the ire of a group of Republican State House and Senate Republicans after she said lawmakers who voted to ban gender-affirming care for minors would have blood on your hands. Mark Mayfield, NBC News Radio.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com.
Live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Look through your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation. Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
I guess almost is the key word there, so there you go. Anyways, currently 15 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are still hanging out on this fantastic Thursday. So let's start getting into the shit list right away about the things that are going on. Convicted fraudster Elizabeth Holmes has been spared prison after all for now. Worth remembering, Holmes has previously unsuccessfully tried to stay out of prison pending her appeal, but the judge on the case ruled that because of the appeal on certain evidentially grounds, that they couldn't fully overturn her conviction. She should be behind bars anyways, and ordered to report for her intake on April the 27th, which would be today. Now, Holmes' legal team has successfully petitioned the Ninth Circuit for a brief reprieve. She'll be free for at least the next 10 days while the feds respond to the filing. So there you go. This is coming across via the New York Post. So there you go. Anyways, New Orleans senior Dennis Barnes has received an offer from more than 125 colleges and universities, totaling more than $9 million in scholarships, a national record. According to CBS affiliates WWL News, the number of offers breaks a previous record by Lafayette High School senior who received $8.7 million in scholarships back in 2019. Barnes, who wants to pursue a degree in computer science and criminal justice, plans to reveal his school choice on May the 2nd. Oh, so this is a thing now? Like you have a thing where you're going to reveal. I guess if you have $9 million worth of scholarships, well, you might probably want to make a big deal about it. I don't know why that it's a big deal, but sure.
Bringing you information you never knew you cared about. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so what else have you been going on? Have you ever been on the receiving end of a jab or from a friend, a family member, maybe an acquaintance? Well, not known to how to reply. Etiquette expert Sarah Jane Ho has three little words for you to put the individual on the spot and still maintaining the bigger person status. According to Ho, the next time someone pokes you, simply look at them in the eye and say, in a neutral, non-confrontational tone, "Are you okay?" Let's try it. Are you okay? If that doesn't make you feel better, Ho says that an alternative option is to simply not say anything at all. No matter which option you prefer, Ho wants people to remember that the greatest power is showing that the other person doesn't have the power over you. I thought it would be just to knock the shit out of them, but I mean, I guess, whatever Ho over there says, maybe she knows better. Okay, Mojave Maxon City very own weather prediction tortoise has emerged from its desert home, signaling that the spring has sprung. Yes, locals who rely on Max's prediction, just like the rest of the country's count on Puxatawny Phil, were thrilled to hear that he had vacated his winter burrow this week. In fact, it was the earliest outing in the past 23 years, according to the Associated Press. Warmer weather, longer daylight hours, and the animal internal clocks are a factor that lead into the coming out each year, according to biologists from the Springs Preserve where he lives. So there you go. I mean, I don't know. Didn't Punxsutawney Phil die earlier this year? So, I mean, and then they didn't know what to do because the damn thing had died in right when the big festivities were taking place. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. But then again, there's a lot of weird things that we do. A lot of weird things that we celebrate. Like yesterday was Pretzel Day. Like what the hell and then like it's supposed to mean a hug and all this other stuff. I mean, it was weird. It was just weird. having those conversations. Anyways, a woman in Somalia ended up in an International Journal of Surgery case reports after having a bullet removed from her nether regions. According to the study author, the 24-year-old woman underwent emergency surgery after getting accidentally shot down there. Hold on. Accidentally getting shot by a bullet down there. As for now, that happened, the report says that she was just relaxing at home when all of a sudden a bullet came through her ceiling and struck her. Apparently that's a good sign to live on a bottom floor. Surgeons have placed the woman under local anesthesia and removed the bullet without any complications. She was then sent home the following day. At the routine follow-up visit, the woman was deemed in good health and with a hole. Study authors noted that the injury to the particular area is not uncommon, but as far as they were aware, this was the first instance of a slow-moving projectile getting lodged in a sensitive area. I would like to know more information about this because I need to understand. I mean, there's kind of some circumference of a circle action going down there as we are talking that I would have to have a better understanding of what exactly are you telling me, because this is kind of vague. I guess they don't know how R-rated we are here. Anyway, so let's get into the swamp real quick. Former President Donald Trump says that he will not participate in any Republican primary debates. When you're leading by seemingly insurmountable numbers, you have a hostile network with angry Trump and MAGA-hating anchors asking the questions, why subject yourself to being libeled and abused, he wrote on his Truth Social. This is a departure from the combative fighting attitude that won him his support back in 2016. Backing down from the showdown, even if it sees it as rigged, is not the behavior of knowing him as a fighter. The first Republican National Committee is sanctioned debate will be held in Milwaukee in August, a year before the city's hosts the party's official nomination convention. It's in Milwaukee? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Meanwhile, the writer who has accused Trump of rape took the stand in the civil action lawsuit on Wednesday. Trump so far has refused to enter the courtroom and launch defaming his accuser, E. Jean Carroll, on Truth Social. The judge has reportedly talked to Trump's lawyers about getting their client to keep his thoughts to himself during the trial. So there you go. Meanwhile, Senator Bernie Sanders said on Wednesday that he is not going to challenge President Joe Biden and offered his own endorsement for the incumbent. Sanders tells Associated Press, I'm in to do what I can to make sure that the president is reelected. So there you go. Some information as we are talking. Anyways, with that being said, talking about presidential elections and all that kind of stuff, maybe we should consider John Small. I mean, you never know. I mean, just listen to the stuff that he talks about. Here we go.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, April 27th, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Equity markets tried to rebound Wednesday, but couldn't. Solid earnings from tech majors like Google and Microsoft and consumer favorites like Chipotle Mexican Grill were overshadowed by fears of growing bank contagion. The latest news from the First Republic scandal is the bank needs to raise more capital to avoid government takeover. And the $30 billion deposited by the U.S. largest banks may already be lost. With the FOMC slated to hike rates by another 25 basis points next week, the odds of another bank failure are growing. Thursday could see another day of decline. The market is cheering the better than expected earnings season, but fear of a recession is also growing. Reports from companies like UPS and Packaging Corporation of America are contrary to the strength shown by other companies and points to widespread economic slowing. The news of the week will come out tomorrow. The PCE price index is due at 8:30 a.m. and is a high probability market moving event. You can get the inside track at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you very much, John, for that information right there. And thanks for not saying anything about running for president. But it would be interesting to hear your remark back. Anyways, the Dow lost about 228 points to close at 33,301 on Wednesday. And the S&P lost about 15 points to close at 4,055. And the NASDAQ added about 55 points to close at 11,854. West Texas Intermediate closed at $74 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $77 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was at $3.64 on Wednesday. Bitcoin slid on Wednesday, losing about 1.75% and trading around $27,800 $800. There was about 3,375 flights delayed within, into, and out of the United States on Wednesday, and more than 410 such cancellations. Friday night's Mega Million drawing will be for $38 million jackpot or a $20.4 million cash payout. So there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Anyways, earlier I did reference some things about Gisele Bündchen. Take a listen to this. Is giving back to her Florida community. She announced this week that she is donating $1 million to the Miami chapter of Lotus House, the nation's largest women's shelter, for their facility called the Children's Village. According to TMZ, the new facility will focus on the needs of youth in the community and continue working towards preventing homelessness. Gisele's donation will go towards building a new playground and developing programs within the facility. This must be a pretty fancy playground if it's only going towards and not actually building. So there you go. Some stuff to think about. Anyway, take a listen to this. This is coming out of Massachusetts. Massachusetts Air National Guard member accused of leaking classified military documents is due in court later today. Take a listen.
Jack Teixeira is scheduled to appear in federal court for a detention hearing. He's accused of sharing classified documents in a group on the social media site Discord, and prosecutors say the evidence against him is substantial and mounting. Prosecutors are asking that the 21-year-old remain in custody without bail while he awaits trial. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Okay, thank you, Mark, for the information there. So that will be a hot topic as we are going through. Take a listen to this coming out of Cook County, Illinois. Cook County could ban the sale of flavored nicotine products. Commissioner Donna Miller says that her ban is meant to prevent children from getting addicted to nicotine.
Flavored e-cigarettes are hooking a whole new generation on nicotine, putting millions of kids and young adults at risk.
The country's board is expected to vote today on the proposed ordinance that could ban retailers from selling flavored nicotine products in suburban Cook County. A ban flavored of e-cigarettes has been in place in Chicago since 2020. I almost said 2010 there, but that would be a lie. That would be a lie from the gates of hell. That would be a lie. That's the kind of lie that it was. Anyways, Las Vegas. Let's see. I just talked about this. What did I get? It was so exciting that we needed to talk about the damn turtle twice. We don't need to talk about the turtle again. Let's just continue. Anyways, today is Take Our Daughters and Sons to Work Day, when parents are encouraged to show their kids what they do. Ariel Diaz has been involved with the Florida Miami-Dade County's public school system for years and says that students should be able to learn a lot today.
The hope is that they see the connection between what they're learning at school to the role and responsibilities that their parents engage in at work.
Okay. People are encouraged to share photos, videos, and stories about how they've been influenced professionally and the importance of education. Toolkits and planning materials are available online for daughterandson@work.com. Well, I think I need a little bit more information than that, like a few moments before it's supposed to be occurring. Because here's the gig. If I was to bring my kids to work, because I have two, one's elder and one's younger, one's a teen, one's a Todd. I mean, a toddler, not Todd. Wasn't Todd. But that's just something that I think about. I mean, you know how loud it would be around here? And as it is, when I bring the toddler in, she likes to play with the board anyways. Yeah, could you imagine that? That'd be fun.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, so we have the different seasons of the year as well. It sounds like we're going to have another season. Concerns about wildfires are growing as the weather warms up, but experts say that the near-record rainfall over the past few months will likely mean much more mild fire season this summer. This is coming out of Sacramento, California.
Generally, the outlook for the state is normal to below normal large fires for June and July, which is the first time I've seen that in many, many years.
That's Craig Clements, the director of Wildfire Research Center at San Jose State. He added that the state's massive snowpack will also help, but it is not all good news, as the water will likely promote extra growth among the shrubs and grasses. Yes, I did say grasses. That could be the fuel that's needed for the wildfire. Cal Fire is still urging everyone to take action and be prepared for the season as it comes up. Greg Clements also says that the snowpack will have a large impact on the milding of it. Take a listen to how exactly he said it.
That will keep things very moist in the Central Sierra and the mid elevations across the Sierra Nevada. And so with that, we won't expect large fires in July like we've seen in the past drought years.
So I guess the good thing here is that, it's going to stay moist. Everybody wants that because you don't want a lot of fires. Chelsea Burkett with the Cal Fire Santa Clara unit says that while there's still winter weather and water will reduce the fire risk, it's early this summer, it could increase the risk in the future.
We're seeing a larger grass crop, and right now it's green, but as the weather continues to get warmer, it will start to dry out.
So lay on your green grass, let all your pain pass.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Yes, cough attacks are the best thing to occur when you are on the air. No doubt about it. Anyways, take a listen to this one. This one will be a little interesting, coming out of Michigan. E-Course Public School has been suspended a teacher aide at Ralph Bunchen School after they allegedly blocked a fourth grader from leaving his classroom and punched him in the shoulder. The boy's mom is staying anonymous, but says that the phone call she received from her son was terrified her.
It doesn't matter if this is a one-time occurrence. That's enough. That's all it should take. She should not be allowed to work in any school ever again.
The superintendent, Dr. Joshua Tailson, says that there are an investigation getting into input from other students, the teachers, and the teacher's assistant. The boy's mom says that he feels guilty that he caused the situation. The mother of the student in Eastgard describes what happened to her son, that he was assaulted by the teacher's aide.
She physically blocked him from leaving the room after she told him to leave. Then, when he tried to push past her, she put her hand around his neck and pushed him against the wall.
So, interesting stuff as we are talking, no doubt about it whatsoever, as we are talking. Take a listen to this. Michigan State Police has released the body cam footage of a traffic stop on Interstate 94 near Paw on March 7th that resulted in the state's largest fentanyl bust. Southwest Enforcement Team First Lieutenant Richard Parzez says the fentanyl has become a big issue.
It's not just coming through our freeways and such like that. A lot of times it's being shipped directly into our communities by mail or by FedEx or by UPS. And so, this is a big problem.
So 25-year-old Brahan Martinez Garcia of California was pulled over for having a black frame blocking his license plates while driving erratically, and consented to search his car and saying that that everything was okay inside of there. A red bag with 4 bricks of fentanyl was found in the back of the car, and the police learned about 2 more kilos of fentanyl in Michigan for a total seizure of 6 kilos. The drug was worth about $9 million. Martinez Garcia remains in the jail awaiting trial. Michigan State Police of the Southwest Enforcement Team said that the fentanyl is a huge problem for the area.
For every good load that someone interdicts, there's many, many more that get through. And so we don't know how much drugs are in Southwest Michigan. We don't know how rapidly the fentanyl trafficking problem is rising.
Well, I think that's kind of obvious. You don't know how many drugs are in one circuit market. I mean, that's just kind of the reality of how things go. Anyways, 33 minutes past the top of the hour, so let's do it.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
So you know that we talk about stuff, we do stuff, we move stuff, we do everything, and then it becomes about as we are moving, as we are grooving, as we are getting into our thing, we start talking about stuff, and we go, well, what the hell are we doing? And let's talk about this, and let's talk about that, and sometimes it just seems like it's talk. Because everybody just wants to talk. Everybody talk now. But here's the gig. as I continue to look around at subject matter experts, yes, I will call them that, inside of the field of safety, inside of the field of human performance, inside of the field, it does seem that it is so important to have a foundation of human performance, of human and organizational performance. And normally I am talking here about the 5 principles. So knowing what are the 5 principles is key to doing the work that's related to human performance, or HOP, human and organizational performance. Without the 5 principles, it is almost virtually impossible to go out there and teach this information. Think about it real quick. Can you imagine going and learning something without having a foundational course on how to use it? Without having a foundational course on what needs to be done, without just having a foundation, period. Like, could you imagine building a house without a foundation? So these are the things that I talk about, and I reference this because we are seeing people that are out there that are subject matter experts that are teaching this, and they have foundational courses that apply with it, foundational information that goes with it. Then there are other people that are self-proclaimed subject matter experts about this, and there is no foundation about it. Think about this. Think about this for a moment on how this goes. And what I find amazing, and I probably should flip this over just for a moment as I'm doing this. If you are looking at the screen or I'm going to change it for a moment. This book, The 5 Principles of Human Performance by Todd Conklin, has been a pretty popular book. But if you are on the screen or here is what the cover of the Chinese version of this thing looks like. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. I'm going to put it right there in the dead middle of the screen. I'm pretty impressed on how many different translations of this thing I have actually seen. I'm just amazed on the people that are going out there and that are willing to understand truly what they need to have foundation-wise in regards to this. Now, is Todd's book the only way to actually get the foundations? No. You can go to the DOE handbook, Volume 1, Volume 2. The principles are in there. They're discussed. I mean, they're a little aged now. Todd, had changed it up in regards of doing it through the lens of safety differently. But that's the thing. If you're out there and trying to build something, you have to have a foundation for it to work. If you are going to a class, a course, a speech, and these things are not mentioned regardless of what the subject matter is in regards of foundations, it becomes extremely difficult to believe what the hell's going on. I mean, I hate going to hype speeches. And when I say hype speeches, it's exactly that. It's just a speech that's trying to get you hyped up. Nothing else. I mean, I'm not playing football. I'm not playing sports. I'm out there assisting, or hopefully assisting, in trying to save people's lives. So, foundational courses in what you're trying to learn, if you don't know this subject, is probably going to be pretty crucial to be able to move forward.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobile.io. That's mobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
Hello. To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN. Radio.
Okay, there you go. Currently 44 minutes past the top of the hour. This right here is Shadows by Young Charlie. Yes, you are still listening to the Rated R Safety Show, hour number 1 of the Jay Allen in the Morning Show. We're going to get everything moving and grooving for you real quick. This little song right here, you can take a little streamer-eamer of it if you want to. All you have to do is go to Apple Music, YouTube Music, or Spotify. We'd like to thank Young Charlie for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. Yes, moving into the chateau. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. So there you go. Anyway, so let's get into it. Let's get into the move and the groove of the things that we need to talk about because it's all important. And I want to tell you real quick about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. Yes, that's TWLOHA.com, TWLOHA.com. Listen, I'm going to tell you, they're going to be there if you're looking for help, and it can be help related to all kinds of things: addiction, eating disorders, depression, anxiety, self-injury, suicide, trauma, grief support resources, bipolar, veterans, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff listed there. LGBTQIA plus. So there you go. Everything listed right there. To Write Love on Her Arms, go to their website, click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, it will tell you about all the resources that are available for you. And also, you'll be able to apply for a treatment and recovery scholarship if you try to go somewhere else that's available in your area that might actually charge something. If you need phone support right away, you can text TWLOHA to 741-741 if you're in the U.S. and Canada. If you are in the UK, just text the word shout to 85258. Or in Ireland, text the word home to 50808. And of course, the National Suicide Lifeline is available by calling or texting the word, or just texting or calling 988. Yep, I'll get to everything moving for you. So if you want to go to the website, TWLOHA.com, click on the section that says Find Help. I think it's so important to talk about this. Not sometimes, all the time. All the time. So take a listen to this real quick. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but new research suggests that French fries may be linked to depression. Yep. A research team from China found that frequent consumption of fried foods, especially fried potatoes, is linked to a 12% higher risk of anxiety and a 7% higher risk of depression than in people who don't eat fried foods. The link is more pronounced among younger consumers. Fried foods are already known for risk factors for obesity, high blood pressure, and other health effects, but these results open an avenue in a significance in reducing fried food consumption for mental health. According to the research, according to researchers, of course, in my case, finishing my French fries is linked with the depression. So maybe that's something to talk about. Anyways, in Toronto, Ontario is the latest city to experience Karen's Diner. Yes, Karen's Diner, a concept built with the great burgers and rude service. Turning the tables and demanding entitled Karens, the stereotypical customer who asks to speak to the manager and makes the most ridiculous requests. The pop-up is known for its rude staff and guarantees poor customer service that warrants negative reviews. With 14 locations in Australia, UK, US, and the first Canadian version, experience that is staffed with sassy locals who are keen to give you the finger or roast you in front of your date. I checked out the menu, $55 for a burger meal. I demand to speak to Karen's manager. I mean, there is no doubt about that. I mean, how could you not debate that? So there you go. Anyways, what else do we have around here? So-called name experts who help parents pick their children's names say that the upcoming trends include gender-neutral monikers and using last names for first names, calling slang who started offering parents consultation on names following the lifelong obsession of baby names, now receives up to 5 requests a day for naming assistance. She charges between $175 to $250 for her expertise. She feels that the name trends in the U.S. for 2023 include surnames such as Sutton, Miller, and Brooke. So to go to tips, people searching for the perfect name includes looking at what retail name products there are, using public records to see the common name is, and look for baby-focused companies that name products after kids. Oh, so the expert also suggested observing what others are naming their children or observing social media or discussion boards ideas. Other trends that she has noticed with girls were seeing a lot of feminine vintage names like Margaret and Eloise. With boys' parents, it's Keener, and the nicknameable names like August, which can be shortened to Gus, or Augie. Yeah, call me Augie. Oh, don't worry about that. No matter what name you choose, other kids will come up with a nickname, no problem. And here's my tip: look for whatever Elon Musk is naming his kids these days, and don't do that. Maybe that's kind of the way to do it. I thought you just looked over like people that you thought that they had cool names, and you just went with that. Wasn't that the thing? Or you found good-looking girls on TV and said, "Hey, I'm gonna want to name somebody else after that." I mean, I don't know. I mean, how do you make these determinations? This sounds stressful. I mean, I have 2 kids, and I don't remember having this level of stress. I had ideas of what I wanted to name children, but I don't think I sat there with a list. Hey, my name is Jay Allen, and I have a list. No, that's not how it went. Anyways, let's do something better. Seriously, let's do something better. Let's get you motivated real quick. Let's bring in some John Small once again with the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Bonnie. There's a great anonymous quote that says, "As I was cooking, I was thinking about life. And I said in my subconscious, I've reached my breaking point. I began to make cornbread. When I cracked the 2 eggs, I heard, now I can use you. You see, an egg can't be used until it's broken. I immediately found joy in the breaking. Not everyone will understand this, but those who do, be encouraged." Wow, what a great thought. Sometimes we need to reach our breaking point before we are ready to do whatever we're meant to do. If you feel like you're cracking, maybe it just means you're just about ready. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by alessamorgan.com. When it comes to meditation, unless you have a lot of experience, it is almost inevitable that at some point during meditation, your concentration and focus will drift away, and you may find yourself back with your thoughts. For a lot of people, this means that the meditation has failed. However, rewiring of circuits for focus by way of neuroplasticity happens through refocusing. Peer-reviewed studies from the New York University show that a 13-minute per day focus and refocus meditation significantly improves concentration. The key to a successful practice is this: it's not about focus, it's about refocus. This means that every time your mind drifts, it's an opportunity to refocus and to build up the circuits for concentration and improved attention. For more information on wellness, check out alessamorgan.com.
It's this show, and they just make fun of a whole bunch of people. It's just too funny. It's too stupid.
Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, yes, Rated R Safety Show. Anyway, so there you go. Some stuff going on right there as we are talking. Let's take a look around at what is dropping in according to the news sequence. Anything new, coming down the pike that we need to talk about right away. Oh, should we be brave and do it? Oh, let's do it. Here you go.
The House has approved Speaker McCarthy's bill to raise the nation's debt ceiling. McCarthy spoke about it on Wednesday.
We promised them that we would end our dependency on China. So not only did we create a select committee on China, we just passed a bill to make America stronger and China weaker.
The bill includes pairing a package of spending cuts with a $1.5 trillion increase. It also limits growth of federal spending to 1% annually and claws back billions of dollars of unspent COVID relief funds. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the bill, however, will be dead on arrival in the Senate, and President Biden has threatened to veto the bill. And South Carolina Republican Senator Tim Scott says he hopes to make a decision on whether or not to run for president by the end of May. Speaking on Fox News Wednesday, Scott said if he enters the race, he believes he can beat President Biden. If Scott is to run, he faces a crowded Republican field for 2024, headlined by former President Trump, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, and former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley. That's politics. Mark Mayfield, NBC News Radio.
Okay, so we'll see what happens there. There is no doubt about that. So take a listen to this. 3 18-year-olds are under arrest in connection with a deadly rock-throwing spree in Jefferson and Boulder counties. This is coming out of Jefferson County, Colorado. Jackie Kelly with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says that they're all facing first-degree murder charges for the death of a 20-year-old. Take a listen to this.
It's not been easy for us to determine who was in the driver's seat and who was throwing the rocks, but we think they were all involved in this criminal episode, therefore facing the same charges.
Okay, so let's see. Joseph Koenig, Nicholas Mitch Carroll, and Zachary Quack. All 3 high school seniors were arrested at their Arvida homes overnight on Tuesday into Wednesday, according to the sheriff's office. Bartell was driving home at the night of April the 19th when a rock came through her windshield and caused her deadly crash. It's one of 7 rock-throwing incidents that are being investigated in Pierce together. During the 40-minute time frame. The key was a cell phone tower data that placed the suspects in the area driving a 2016 black Chevy Silverado. How the hell did the tower know that they were driving a black Chevy Silverado? I just want to know that part. Uber and Lyft driver Nathan Tipton, one of the other victims, recounts his experience and hopes that of leading to justice for Alexa Bartell.
When I found out that this series of events actually took a young lady's life, I feel for Alexa and her family. It really put me in a bit of a shock.
Yeah, I mean, that is a shocking thing for sure. I mean, what the hell are you going around throwing rocks at people, allegedly, as they're driving? I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, you shouldn't throw rocks at people, period, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, so let's take a look around at some things that happened back on this date. And as I take a look back in 2014, on this day, last week tonight, with John Oliver premieres on HBO. The late night show takes satirical look at news, politics, and current events on a weekly basis. So there you go. That happened back on this date on 2014. Anyways, if you're looking at some birthdays that are going on today, here are some. Lizzo turns 35, Jenna Coleman 37, Patrick Stump 39, David Lasher 51, Cory Booker 54, George Gerwin, 71, Ace Frehley, 72, and Frank Abagnale turns 75 today. Also today would have been radio personalities Casey Kasem's birthday. He was born back in 1932. Just a little FYI information for you right there. And if you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, I have some of those for you as well. It's National Teach Your Children to Save Day, National Prime Rib Day, Marine Mammal Rescue Day, Thank You Thursday, National Tell a Story Day, Morse Code Day, Stop Food Waste Day, Love Your Thigh Day, and World Tapir Day. So there you go, some things going on right there. If you need a random joke for today, I am sure I have one of those for you. Among the things that are so simple even a child can operate them, well, the answer is parents, just so you know. If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What word do you always misspell? And remember that the only time that the word isn't spelled incorrectly is when it's spelled incorrectly. Think about that. What else? And then if you need a question for the water cooler, try this. A survey found that this causes people to panic about 3 times a month. What is it? The feeling that they have nothing to wear. So there you go. Some stuff going on right there. as we are talking. Anyways, that's going to sum up our time together. Thank you for hanging out and doing the things that you do, because without you, it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to do our part over here. That is for sure. Top of the hour, I'll be going over to Radio Big exclusively. If you want to go there, radiobig.fm, you can take a listen. If I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Never let the fear of striking out get in your way. Babe Ruth. See the reasons, because there's all kinds of them. So there you go. Anyways, that's going to sum it up. I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye. And thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.